this week's session with the Putnam County District Library. This week we are taking a look at, on the listing it says Google Expeditions. Google Expeditions has basically been eliminated and has went in with Google Arts and Culture. So we're going to actually be looking at Google Arts and Culture, which now Expeditions is part of. So if you go to artsandculture.com or .google.com, what you are going to see here is this page lists, and it scrolls down for quite some time. You can explore museums, you can play with family and friends. It has holiday reads, has the create, picking destinations, and so forth, all the way down the page. What I find the easier way to look at this is to go, you can go across the left-hand side where you see explore, play, nearby, and favorites, but you're going to find the same exact thing going down the left-hand side here as well. I'm going to move this over to the side a little bit, and you'll see the same exact thing listed here that you find going across on the left-hand side. So it's whichever way is easier and better for you to explore. So the first thing we're going to look at is explore. When I go to explore, we always have the highlights at the top. You have the different categories. Explore by time and color, which is kind of interesting because if you click on time, it's giving you a timeline. So you can go across here and explore based upon the different timelines. Then if I go back here, I've got my color. So the same type of thing here, kind of interesting. You can explore different artwork based upon the color. Themes, collections, so forth, all the way down. These are the most popular topics that you would find. So I'm going to go back here to my 3-line search area here, and I can go, if I go to nearby, what you're going to find is with nearby, it's going to take my location. Now I did have to have the location set on my device that I'm using, so I've got my location here, and then what it's doing is it's finding it's finding arts and culture that's close by within the area. And so if I were to click on one of these, say for example, the Toledo Museum of Art, notice it is telling me how far it is, it's telling me its hours, if it's open, and if I click on this, then it'll take me out. It's going to give me directions as well as take me to the official site. If I click on view in Google Arts and Culture, it's taking me straight out to what is found within Google Arts and Culture that has to do with the Toledo Museum of Art. Go back here, and if I go to profile, this is just my information. And then if I go to achievements, this is kind of interesting because as I do and look throughout Google Arts and Culture, it is actually, I'm achieving different, what do I want to say, kind of like badges. So say for example, I click here on Museum Explorer because it's grayed out. It's telling me if I browse a museum collection, then obviously that's going to be an achievement for me. Art inspector, for example, if you zoomed in close to an artwork, which I had done, I have achieved that. That's why I now have that kind of like that badge. And so we've got different collections we can search by. We've got different themes we can search by. This is the way that I find it easier to search. Experiments. What's interesting with experiments? It's arts and culture and different experiments. Notice this does take me to a different, it goes out to experiments within Google. So it is actually outside of Google Arts and Culture. I've got artists, I can search again. If I have a certain artist that I'm looking at, I have different mediums, different art movements, historical events. If I wanted to look into something in terms of historical events, this is kind of interesting area because I've got all of these different historical events that have taken place. So if I were to say, well, let's look at the Battle of Gettysburg, for example, it's giving me the date of the battle. It's giving me all the different historical events. If I click on one of these, for example, it's taking me out and giving me more information. And then if I were to explore related contents, I can really continue to explore deeper and deeper as I'm looking into some of these. Same thing, I've got historical figures as well. So I've got all of these different figures that have been a part of history. So if I were to click on John F. Kennedy, for example, again, I have the date he was born, the date of his passing. I have all of this information that is now available, as well as lots and lots of images and additional information that's available. And then the last thing here is different places. So if I look at different places, now don't be thrown off, this is not Toledo, Ohio, obviously, but I do have the United States, and when I do that, then I can actually look at different collections and always make note this does continue off here to the side, or I can click on view all. And so then here I'm going to find all of this information that's available within the United States itself. I'm going to go back one more time here to the home page so that you see what is available here. The one other thing that I did want to show, which is just kind of a little bit of off on its own little tangent here, is the play area, which can be kind of entertaining and fun because it's got all of these different things that you can do and play that kind of have to do with, that obviously have to do with arts and culture. If I were to click here on Doodle Guide, for example, and I say launch this experiment, what you're going to see here is I click and start drawing, and I'm just simply going to draw here. Let's see, and we'll just draw this out, and let's see if I can figure out here what I'm drawing. And it's pretty simplistic here. But I've got this drawing done, and then when I'm done drawing here, and I go out to the side here, so I'm letting it go. Now notice across the bottom, it's generating. This is an AI, so it's, let me think.
A very nice sketch of a leafless tree, drawn with a single line. The style is reminiscent of preliminary sketches, with a spontaneous feel. The lines are simple, yet they effectively convey the essence of a tree in winter. To improve this beautiful sketch, if you were drawing on paper, you could add some texture to the bark, using
what I find is kind of interesting with that is you can draw something and then it gives you ideas of how you could make and improve your drawing. We'll go back one last time here to Google Arts and Culture just so that you see this is the starting page of when you go to artsandculture.google.com, what you will find. And as I've kind of briefly shown, you can go as in depth as you want looking into the arts and culture and explore and spend a lot of time in kind of an entertaining way to learn and explore the arts and cultures that are available throughout the world. Hope everyone has a fantastic week.